What is up, Squared Nation? Welcome back to No Counters, No Combos, and today we are back in the battle chamber. This is obviously the remote battle chamber. Hopefully this display is a lot better. Shout out to Tristan for helping me record this gameplay and getting it set up so we can get some type of split screen action going for you guys. As you can see, I am playing the red Gogeta BR leader. I do apologize for the brightness of my screen. I was using some white light in the video just to make sure I can capture everything, but you know, I underestimated the quality and the resolution of Tristan's monitor, so it looks super washed out, but that's definitely an adjustment we'll make for the next one. And Tristan is playing the Mono Blue Soul Striker list that he's been working on with some of the Bardock's crew. So this is actually taking place post-local. I wasn't able to get any footage for the local just because it's a little difficult to record while at the local, just with the webcam situation and everything like that. So we decided just to play an exhibition game the following day. I did get 4th place at my locals, going 2-1. So the deck did perform pretty well. There's definitely a couple of changes I would make, but for the most part, you know, it did what it was supposed to do. So we're going to go ahead and catch up. I start by charging Birth of the Super Warrior, then playing a Birth of the Super Warrior to bring up my 2 1-drops and passing. Tristan charges. His ape plays a Borgos, which is the silver bullets from draft box 6, draws a card, swings with Soul Striker. I take it, go down to 7. And he's going to pass turn. So we're off to the races here. I'm sitting at 7 life. Tristan's at a full healthy 8 with 1 blue tapped and 1 Borgos in play. So what are we going to charge for turn here? For turn number 2. Now, I definitely like the Gogeta BR leader simply because when it attacks, you have the option of taking a life and looking at top 7 for a red extra card, cost of 1. So it's a good way of filtering your cards. But I definitely feel like my ratios might have been a little off just because I didn't get to resolve that effect quite as often as I wanted to, or quite as often as I felt like I should. So there's definitely some adjustments to be made there. Now, I'm charging a Raditz super combo for 2 energy there. And sometimes you just have to do that, right? You just, especially when you're playing a combo deck that you need your pieces, sometimes you just have to charge a super combo. And it's unfortunate, but it does happen. So we are going to go ahead and swing with Gogeta here. Take a life, look at top 7 for a red extra card, cost of 1. And I whiff on that search, which is what I was saying earlier. I don't think I'm playing enough red extra cards that cost of 1. I'm only playing 8, 4 Violent Rays and 4 Birth of a Super Warrior, when in actuality you probably want to get closer to 10 or 12 just so you can resolve that effect. So like I said, I mean, I threw this deck together thinking it would work on paper, and it kind of did, but kind of didn't. Definitely some of the ratios are off, and there's definitely some room for improvement there, which I'll probably revisit at some time. So we are going to go ahead and tap 1 for Goku prepping for fusion. He looks at top 3 for a Vegeta BR or a Veku, and I think I whiff on that as well. So we're going to go ahead and turn sideways with this Goku. He has a permanent where at the end of the turn, he bounces back to your hand, so you don't really lose your fusion fodder pieces. So they're really good for like early aggro, just to scry and look at top 3 to add another piece, and then you get them back at the end of the turn. So Tristan's going to go ahead and take that damage. I'm going to go ahead and play the Vegeta prepping for fusion and whiff on that as well. And then shuffle the rest, or put the rest of the bottom of the deck rather, and then swing with the Vegeta. So 10k to 10k. Doesn't look like Tristan's going to counter that. He's going to take it and go down to 5. We're just going to go ahead and put on the early aggro here. I mean, I've gotten, what, 5 attacks total this turn. That's kind of pretty efficient if you ask me. So I combo up after he takes the Goku, the damage from Goku, I combo up on the Vegeta, knowing that his defensive combo would probably be Awaken just to be at 15. So I want to force him to combo a card so that he's not really just using his Awaken as like an extra 5k. So I combo 5k into the Vegeta. And then at the end of the turn, we are going to go ahead and bounce those 2 fusion materials back to the hand and pass turn. Tristan's going to draw, untap. So he's already at 4 life on turn 2. So this is a kind of aggressiveness that the Gogeta archetype can do on turn 2, just by having those Birth of Super Warriors resolve and having the prepping for fusions just for cheap aggro, but also, you know, the opponent's willingness to take that damage, which Soul Striker, I mean, you want to get to your backside as quickly as possible. So obviously, you know, that's not going to be something that's too hard for Tristan to recover from. So as you can see, he charges a Bardock from draft box 6 for his second energy, which is good because now he has an evolution target for the ape, which is clearly what he's playing. So he's going to go ahead and tap 2 to evolve, exactly what we just said before, to evolve the 5-drop SR Bardock Ape. Now this card's great. He's 20k double strike auto. When he comes into play, you draw a card, and at the end of the turn, you restand him and you charge. You place the card from the top of your deck in your energy and rest mode. So he replaces the energy that you use for evolution, and he gets to restand. He's a 20k blocker, so that's really good too. Tristan is going to go ahead and swing with Soul Striker to my Vegeta, untapping that blue energy. And I'm going to obviously let that happen because Birth of the Super Warrior does have the ability of getting your 1-drop skillless Vegeta and Gokus out of the drop area back to your hand. So you're not really losing too much if you just let them go here. He is going to go ahead and tap 1 and evolve his ape on the Borgos there, which is pretty interesting. Borgos is a 15k attacker that he can restand your other Bardock's crew for paying a blue energy and negating their skills. So essentially you get an extra attack out of it. So Borgos is going to go ahead and swing at my Vanilla. Going to let that happen. And then Bardock's going to come on in to my leader for 20k double, which is okay for me because that's going to put me in awakening range for next turn. And it's definitely something that I'm going to want to do, getting to my backside. You kind of want to awaken in Gogeta, I've noticed, when you have at least 3 energy, because you're in that position where you can actually play your Unison or go up into your Gogeta chain and then awaken and have 2 more energy for defensive purposes or continuation if you need to. But that's just basically, you know, how I formatted my plays when playing this deck. So he's going to go ahead and pass turn, ramping the top card of his deck, and then passing to me. So he's still sitting at 2 energy. I'm going to go ahead and draw for turn, untap, and attempt to charge my 3rd energy here. So let's see what it is I'm going to charge. I'm going to go ahead and draw for turn, untap. So we're going to untap here, untap the leader, draw for turn. Let's see what we charge here for energy number 3. Tristan is tapped out. He does have a 20k blocker on board, which is something I have to watch out for. We're going to go ahead and charge a Violent Raise here. We are in awakening range, so we are going to go ahead and Union Fusion the Veku, which is going to allow us to draw a card on the front side. I feel like I sequenced this incorrectly, and the reason being is that I did have the Gogeta 5-drop in my hand, so I should have probably played that first, drawn a whole bunch of cards, awaken, untap 2, and then I can Union Fusion again on my backside with the Vekus for free, because I would have been able to draw 2 cards off of activating Union Fusion. So that's definitely a misplay on my part. It also depends on how many fusion materials I have in my hand, which I'm not exactly sure at this point how many I had in my hand. But like I said, this part of the growing pains of the game, learning how to play the deck. I like Veku a lot. I like his ability to just come in for free, draw you a card, and be a 15k attacker. He also has the benefit of being able to attack active battle cards, which is great. And then you can activate main, you can crack him and add your 2 materials back from your drop to your hand. So it gives you basically a play, you know, for a follow-up fusion next turn. So we're going to go ahead and tap 3 for Jiren, which is the Unison of choice for this deck, in my opinion. I can see the merits of playing the Gotenks Unison, especially because your deck, you don't want to clog your curve, and by that I mean you're playing Jiren on 3, or you're making the decision of playing your Gogeta chain on 3, and they share the same amount of energy. So you're either going to underdrop Jiren on 4, or you're going to underdrop your fusion on 4, and you kind of don't want to do that. You kind of want to get your Gogeta pieces out as quickly as possible, because he helps you control the board, especially the 6-drop. So you can make the argument that it's more beneficial to play Gotenks on curve for 2 energy, have your Unison out, and then go into your chain on turn 3 and add a whole bunch of markers up to onto the Gotenks, and just have him start plussing you from there with Union Fusion and all that other stuff. But Jiren is just a very powerful Unison, in my opinion. He's really good. I don't think moving forward that it's the best Unison for this specific deck, just because he shares the same amount of energy cost for your fusion chain. And like I said, you want to make sure that you're hitting your curve as efficiently as possible. So We are going to go ahead and do a little bit of catching up here. I'm awake and I'm untapping 2. Swing with my leader, swing with Jiren. Tristan essentially just combos out of everything at this point. We're going to feed Jiren and put him up to 5 markers because you want that boy to survive as much as possible because his activate battle is just so good. You know, minus 25k to a battle card ignoring barrier. And we're just going to pass with 2 red energy open. That is a lot of energy to pass in Gogeta, but if you're playing topos, then, you know, obviously having 2 red energy open is what's going to allow you to, you know, be able to play those topos. So Tristan's going to go ahead and play his Baby Unison and uptick him to 5, drawing a card. Baby Unison is so good, especially for blue leaders that can kind of turtle out early and then just blow up in the late game. Being able to minus baby 5 markers and giving your leader plus 10k double strike and then being able to activate your counter skills by just pitching 2 and not paying the energy cost just makes it so that you can play your Great Ape event, your Great Ape, your golden Great Ape baby counter essentially for free, because the 2 cards that you're negging, it's not really going to hurt you in the long run on the resolution of that effect, because whatever it is you're countering is probably going to put you way ahead of your opponent, and you get a 30k double striker that draws you a card. So the 2 cards that you just pitched, you replaced one of them, so you're not really negging as hard as you normally would. That skill is just ridiculous. It's so hard getting rid of that Baby Unison with all the negates that blue just plays naturally and all the blockers that you can have with the ape strategy. It's just, he's a nightmare. So Tristan's going to go ahead and swing with Bardock. I'm going to activate Battle on the Jiren, neg him 3 markers, and blow him up. I believe that's what's happening here. Yeah, we're going to neg 3 on the Jiren. Wait, what happened here? Oh, no, I'm sorry. Bardock went into my Jiren for 2, then he restood him with Borgos to go again. So my Jiren should be sitting at 2 markers. He's going to swing at my life. I'll take it and go down to 3. Now he's going to go ahead and swing with Borgos, I believe, into my life or my Unison. I'm not exactly sure here. But we are going to go ahead and slap Topo on the board and pitch a red card. Now, I might have drawn the Topo off of life because I had the 2 energy open early on in the turn. But I don't. If I did have Topo early on, I should have just slapped him down on the first attack. There would have been no point for me doing it later unless I just ripped him off of life. But I'm saving essentially Jiren from, you know, losing any more markers. So Jiren's sitting at 2. I have Topo. I'm at 3 energy. Tristan is tapped out with nothing in active mode. You can smell that baby hatch secret rare coming in though, because he essentially has no defense open. We are going to go ahead and tap 3 for the Union Fusion here. Send it to materials to the drop area. Gogeta comes in, minuses your opponent's board by 15k, draws you 2 cards, and the leader draws you a 3rd card. So you're drawing 3 cards on that, and then he gets to add a marker to Jiren, putting him back up to 3. We're going to go ahead and EX evolve over the 5 drop with the 6 drop, adding 2 more markers to Jiren, so he's at 5. And the Gogeta is really good because when Gogeta attacks, his auto triggers that you get to choose one of your opponent's cards and reduce its attack power by 20k. So you can choose battle cards, you can choose leaders, you can choose unisons, you can choose any card on their board and reduce the attack by 20k. And that auto also kicks in when your opponent attacks. So when Gogeta attacks on your turn, or when you get attacked from your opponent, that auto triggers. So that's really good for defensive purposes. As you can see, I did turn sideways with my leader here, and I drew a card, and there's the Baby Hatch secret rare. So I essentially can't attack for the rest of this turn. I do have a pretty nice board set up with 1 red energy open, but that Baby Hatch secret rare does kind of put a foil to my plans here, because I would have been able to do a significant amount of damage, not just to his leader, but just to his board. At this point, his board is more of a problem than his leader, because he has a 20k double strike blocker on board, and he has his Unison, which is going to give him infinite value the longer he stays on the board, and also Borgos with the ability to restand the Bardock's crew. It's just something that you don't want boards to get out of control too quickly. You want to be able to pick and choose your pushes. Sometimes you do have to fight for the board. Having Gogeta and Jiren on board, though, being able to interact with his battle cards is good, but still, you want to try to get rid of stuff offensively so you can have more defensive interactions and just not rely on those singular effects moving forward on the defensive side. So I'm going to pass by activating a Super Warrior and getting 2 more combo pieces to my hand just to have more combo power. Tristan's going to go ahead and untap charge 4 here. And 4 energy is a lot for blue right now, especially with Soul Striker, with the ability to untap cards whenever he feels like it. Tristan's going to go ahead and play Mirichim. Mirichim is the 25k barrier. I believe he's from Draft Box 5. I'm not exactly sure, but a lot of blue players have, not essentially cut Obuni for him, but are doing like a 2-2 split or like a 3-2 with Obuni and Mirichim just because he has barrier and he can pressure, offensively as well because of the dual attack. And his auto, when he comes into the board, your opponent reveals the top card of their deck. If it's a battle card, he gains dual attack for the turn. So he's a 25k dual attack with barrier, which is really good, especially against green decks, like Tristan was saying, telling me yesterday during the gameplay. When you're playing against dormant decks, it's good just to have one body, because dormant just kind of poops all over the tokens that Obuni pumps out. So just having a good body with barrier, barrier is just a really good keyword to have against green in general. So he's going to swing with his Bardock Ape. So now this is where I kind of have to pick and choose what I have to do. Obviously, he's going to swing with his leader at some point this turn, untapping 2 blue energy. So I'm going to go ahead and activate my Gogeta skill, reducing the Bardock by 20k, sending him to the drop. So that essentially saves me an attack there. He's going to swing with his leader, I believe, into my leader, untap 2 blue energy. In a perfect world, I probably activate Jiren's -3 to get rid of the Mirichim because he's 25k barrier. And Jiren reduces a battle card by 25k, ignoring barrier. So that's an efficient way of removal. But I'm not going to really do anything, until it's activate battle on me. So he's going to go ahead and bean, making his Goku a 20k and putting him up to 3 active energy. And that just kind of does it for that. I combo out of that. And now Tristan is swinging with his Mirichim. That's, again, 25k dual attack. I'm going to activate battle on Jiren, -3 markers to get rid of the Mirichim. So Jiren's back at 2 markers now. Again, it's one of those things where it's a huge trade-off. You want to try to keep Jiren on the board as much as possible. And having him survive is just going to accrue value. His auto is really good too, but obviously, when you're playing against huge bombs like Baby Hatch or, Bardock Ape or anything like that, -10k is not really going to do too much. But swinging a 40k Baby Hatch here into my leader, there's not much I could do unless I decide to just combo out my whole hand. He still has 3 energy open, so it's just a matter of time before something comes down. I am going to take it and go to 2. He's going to go ahead and turn sideways with his Borgos, which is a 15k attacker. I have no energy open, so I can't play defensively. I don't run after images in this deck, which is a shame. I probably should have run after image in this deck now that I'm thinking about it, hindsight 2020. But, it is what it is. We're going to combo out of this 25k. Because I believe Borgos is actually 19k. No, yeah, he comboed up. So Tristan's going to tap 1 here to evolve the ape. Oh, it's just so good. I'm so surprised that this is not being played as much as, I think it should be. Like, just evolving from your energy and then replacing it at the end of the turn is just so good. This is a 20k double striker. If he shotguns into this guy, I'm essentially dead. So right now he's sitting at 30k double, super combo, bottom deck 1, draw 2. Let's see if he decides to go up any further here. So we have 30, 35, 40 double strike. With the lack of cards in my hand and the lack of combo power on board, that's pretty much it. I mean, the game is over. Definitely shout out to Tristan for thinking outside the box with the Bardock's Ape stuff. Let me know what you guys think about the setup in the comment section down below. Hopefully you enjoyed the remote battle chamber, and we'll talk to you guys next time. Be there or be squared.